Notice and presently state of my YouTube channel Xkalistar, why I founded it, and future projects. Hello YouTube friends. This is a video report about this, my favorite social network. On my channel I upload videos on the most varied topics. But mainly I dedicate to my own artwork, Xkalistar, which is an illustrated surreal epic fantasy sci-fi novel. I already have the first 5 chapters in promotion of the 21 that the first book has, and in mid-2024. I am already writing the 5th book of the Saga of 7. To get an idea of what they are like, without giving too much spoiler. They would be the descendants of the protagonists who are told in these first 5 chapters. They would be the children and grandchildren of these characters. It would be about 40 years in the future of the events that were told in this book 1. As you can see, checking my channel on YouTube, I translated this work into several languages, leaving the link for the download. Now in this video I will place all the links of all my works, as a summary, gathering everything in one place. On my YouTube channel I am dedicated to promoting my own artwork, Xkalistar. Promoting the first 5 chapters of the 21 that the first book has. And in mid-2024 I am already writing the 5th book of the 7-book saga. I also upload videos on a wide variety of topics, covering a bit of everything. But I especially teach the programs that I know, such as Jarte, the word processor that I use the most. I also teach Blender classes at a beginner level in this infographic program. For those who are starting out, my tutorials will be more than good. I also give writing advice, how to make novels and other tips for writing. I have seen many movies in my life and the ones that caught my attention the most were due to their camera shots. I show this as good camera shots. Although YouTube censored several of these videos, it seems that several fragments cannot be uploaded without setting off alarms. That's why I had to make a short video with a link to the main videos so that the download can be done from Google Drive. I also use a program called Audacity, with which I created several musical samples. I also created monotonous noises, a sound that is uniform and even, which helps me to write and concentrate. I close my eyes and open my ears to this white noise to calm myself down and start writing. I also uploaded these relaxation videos on my channel. I made some 3D Blender models and uploaded them to share, especially a list of colors, which using hexadecimal values that are on the internet and using Blender I already wove the colors. The other Blender enthusiasts would be grateful that they have everything in a single file, with all the colors, with their names, already classified. I also uploaded my favorite tastes, which is why YouTube censored me again. Once again I had to make a short video with a link to Google Drive so you can download them to your own machines. I made movie scenes that I upscaled, improving slightly. Obviously in Hollywood they have supercomputers that do it in a flash, which takes me days, but it's something. I work as a technician repairing cell phones, tablets and remote controls mainly. And I also repair computers from time to time when I have space in my workshop. And based on my experiences and my knowledge in electronics, I posted recommendations for the rest of my colleagues. I had to work in bricklaying and based on my experience I left useful advice. I also have several projects that are utopias to see if they could become reality, benefiting many. I also have videos where I talk about other authors of universal literature. I like the game of Go, also called baduk in Korea, and fencing as a translation into English. Although it is known worldwide as Go, it is simple and profound at the same time, like life itself. I upload my games on Baduk Pop, a mobile app where I describe my games against other players. Although it is always advisable to analyze the games of the grandmasters, already professionals of the game, it is good to review one's own games so one learns and advances. Although it is preferable to analyze the games of the great champions, I also soak up and get inspired by other productions that resemble my artwork. So I also upload videos, especially audiobooks where the complete story of the events is told. If not, from time to time I make an alternative story, with a different ending from how it was shown to have really happened. This is the theme of my YouTube channel, being a bit of everything, but focusing more on art and writing more than anything. Although I touch on other topics as well, I give life tips and so on, my YouTube channel would be a bit of everything. My artwork. Here, as you can see on this page, which I made with Inkscape, another editing program. You can see how I want to put it together, diagram, layout, and text of the pages of my books. You can see that the titles start on the left page and there is all text. Then on the right page it is divided in half, where there is a graphic that recounts some of the events that were narrated between the texts. And then there is a smaller drawing in the upper right, which represents the animation. As you turn the page by page, the book will form this animation. This animation would correspond to Book 1. In fact, here is Chapter 1, The Saga of the Mediles, which I uploaded in the PDF file on the internet. To download and for people to read and give me their opinion of whether they like it or not. The rest of Book 1 is like this and the other books are also like this. Books 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 would be like this. The left side would have text and the right side, half of the page, would be divided in half with graphic at the bottom. And the upper right side would open the animation drawing and what was left of the page, 50% text. Around there, between 40 and 50% text, and the left page would be 100% text. And the right page would be divided between the main graphic, the animation drawing, and what was left, which seems to be 40 to 50% all text. And this is what the co-publishing company has to edit. I already have some names in mind to hire and, well, I just need to raise the money so I can print the book. That's why I created my YouTube channel almost 3 years ago, and I do nothing but upload videos on the most varied topics. But I mainly focus on my own artwork Xkalistar. If there is a video on my channel that is an audiobook illustrated with images, images like this appear in that audiobook with electronic voice that narrates these first 5 chapters. The video lasts quite a while. The video lasts 2 hours 40 minutes. I already have the animation ready for Book 1. It is of a pantida, a cat man, performing an acrobatic stunt carrying a pair of Xkalistar, the laser swords in my artwork. Now I am going to make the animation to include it in Book 2. This is going to be of a vampire, a Batman, a vampire humanoid, who also performs a series of martial arts stunts, this time carrying a laser wand. And to render the animation, this time in the form of a frame-by-frame, rendering in images. Unlike a video that can be made in MP4 format that is already all done, when rendering in images it is double work. because then you have to splice everything together until it comes out in video format. The final result, when I can publish the second book, which is already finished and would need minimal corrections and will be co-edited. In the animation part, when turning the book page by page with your fingers, this animation will be formed. Of the vampire doing his martial art, throwing a kick with a thrust, using a laser wand. The final animation, possibly when the second book is co-edited, they will propose me changes and reforms to improve this animation. But the result would be very similar to this one. Here are some questions they asked me. Do you use ChatGPT to write? Yes, but for audio books with alternative stories. I saw many movies in my life, and the ones I liked the most, I made them as a story with an alternative ending. Different from how reality ended. For example, for the alternative history of Gladiator, I was forced to use ChatGPT. However, to write my own work, Xkalistar, I don't use ChatGPT. It's as if ChatGPT had stored all the books from all the libraries in the world. And those that haven't been published yet don't know anything about it. It may happen because ChatGPT isn't perfect. Another thing, for example, I recognize that ChatGPT doesn't make spelling mistakes. But the sentences he throws out seem to make no sense. You have to correct a lot. ChatGPT would do 50% of the work for you, and the other 50% you have to do yourself correcting these inconsistencies. It's appreciated that ChatGPT helps you write, but it's not like he does everything for you. You have to correct a lot, at least twice as much as artificial intelligence does for you. Another question. Why do you use Loquendo for your videos? I actually use a program called Balabolka, which is a bit more powerful than Loquendo, and offers better features. You have to keep in mind that the audiobooks I upload to my YouTube channel are an hour or more long. And you have to be speaking into a quality microphone. In a professional studio that doesn't allow outside noise to pass through, so that one can be comfortable. That is why I decided to use an electronic voice to talk for hours without background noise. Let's see. Another question. When are you going to publish your book? I am working on that. That is why I am looking for crowdfunding, which is patronage. You collect money to hire a co-publishing publisher, which does all the heavy work of printing and other paperwork. I used to think that everything was like in ancient times, when one wrote an artwork, sent it to traditional publishers who are all powerful, and that was it. But everything turned out to be much more complex than all this. If more than 6 months after having sent the written document to an important publisher, one does not receive communications because they are not interested. That is why co-publishing publishers emerge, where for a price that is generally around $1,000, they do all the heavy work of layout, printing, and other bureaucratic paperwork for you. For example, in order to register my artwork with copyright, I had to go through paperwork with the DGI, the Tax Collector's Office, IRS, Internal Revenue Service, registering as a freelancer, autonomous, as they say in the jargon. And there are also many other paperwork with the Book Chamber Office, and with the Congress of the country where one resides, which have to receive a few copies of the book that one is going to print, and there also have to be a lot of other paperworks. That is why a co-publishing publisher is in charge of doing all these paperworks. They contacted me from a co-publishing publisher, where they gave me a budget of around $2,500. This is because of the large number of words in my book, about 80,000. Also because it has more than 500,000 characters with spaces, and there has to be one drawing per page. I work with Blender, a 3D animation software, so I do the graphics myself, and there is no problem with that. What happens is that the book has to be edited with the texts, the drawings, one per page, and other corrections, spelling and so on. There must be a large number of corrections. That is why they gave me that budget, which is understood to be good. It must be around there in any publishing house. I spoke with other writers, both men and women, and they told me that they had paid around $1,000 for the co-edition of their books. And reviewing them, they have few pages, with few words, of around 40,000. My artwork is more than double that, just in the first book, and I am already writing the 5th in mid-2024. In addition to the fact that my artwork has graphics and is an illustrated novel, and co-editing it would take time. With all the pertinent corrections, having to diagram the placement of the drawings, layers, and other procedures. That's why they gave me this budget, which would be around $2,500. And yes, it's fine, because I work as a technician, repairing cell phones. I know what the cost of things is. To edit my book, it wouldn't be a single person doing everything and everything. It would be a whole team of a dozen people, all working together, to achieve the objective, which is to publish the work. Let's see another question. What do you do? What is your job? My main job is as a technician repairing for cell phones, tablets, computers, remote controls. This is my job, with which I earn my daily bread, and with which I can barely make ends meet month, buying myself what I need and what I need. But what I like most is writing and modeling virtually, with the Blender program, which is my favorite. In all these years, I may not have dedicated myself 100% to Xkalistar. But I have two other artworks related to the universe of Solarium, where Xkalistar comes from. I made board games, other stories, other short stories and other things, which I hope to be able to complete and publish one day. My artwork is to be judged by others, and if they say it is good enough to be published in full, then I would collaborate. If not, no. Let's see another question. How many books have you written? Do you have other projects besides Xkalistar? Yes, on my computer I have about 15 writings archived, which are short stories that need to be lengthened, letting them stretch out to mature. What I have finished is the Xkalistar saga, which in the middle of 2024. I will be writing the 5th book. The 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th is already finished. It would need to be done some minor corrections, spelling, style and other corrections. It would need to be done with graphics, layout, and diagram to see how it would come out in print, some other corrections. But it can be said that these first 4 books are already ready. And I still have to finish the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, which would be the last of this saga of 7 books. And after this I would publish a kind of dictionary, encyclopedia, referring to the world of Xkalistar. For those who are big fans of it and want to learn more. And then there would be another stories, like the whole saga. This saga that I have is very vast. That is why I would like you to ask me questions regarding the plot, suggestions for names of new characters and so on. My exclusive email for you, my readers, is for now, when I have finished with the Xkalistar franchise. I will continue with other ones that I have in the pipeline saved on my computer. They would be some stories and other things that I have to publish, but well, they would have to be edited, because a writer cannot correct his own artwork. It has to be corrected by another person, a professional proofreader. That is why co-publishing publishers are hired, who do all these procedures, corrections, bureaucratic procedures, and so on. To the book chamber office, the Congress, and so on. They take care of that paperwork, which is quite a lot. I had to do a lot of paperwork to register my work. And as far as I understand, there are still many more paperwork left. That is why co-publishing publishers are in charge of doing this work, which is very complex. Let's see, another question. How are the book story going? Well, I don't want to spoil too much of this, but basically on this YouTube channel, I uploaded a PDF with the first 5 chapters for promotion. Of the 21 that the first book has. It is so that readers can evaluate my work, see if they like it, give me constructive criticism. See that it can be changed for the better and in the best of cases, collaborate with me in my financing networks. Such as Mercado Pago of Argentina, PayPal, Payoneer, CBU of Banco Provincia de Buenos Aires, and other financial networks. That way I can hire a co-publishing publisher, who will do the work of starting the printing and the book can be published in full. Some spoilers. In this first book there is a happy ending, with the medieval monks who settle in the Orc kingdom and can form a family. Book 2, which is already finished, takes place more than a decade later and they are already the children of the protagonists, who were seen in these first 5 promotional chapters. Book 3 is also finished. It takes place about 40 years after what was shown in the promotional PDF and they would be the grandchildren of these protagonists. Book 4, which is missing minimal corrections, would be around that time more or less. If in the previous books, years, or decades passed, from Book 3 onwards a few months would have passed and so it remains. Book 5, which I am writing in mid-2024, is also like this. with the children and grandchildren of these protagonists of these first 5 promotional chapters in the PDF, and a few months have already passed. At the end of the promotional PDF, which I uploaded to the internet to download and see my artwork. At the end of that chapter 5 there is like a dimension of evil with millions and millions of skeletons that are ready to go into the world. Disqualify to invade it, when the portal opens for them. Well, in this book 5 the forces of evil managed to open that portal to the dimension of evil and managed to make the skeletons go through to invade everything. To get an idea, taking video games as a reference, it would be like a war between orcs and skeletons. Like Warcraft and similar. I'm starting with this book 5 and it seems that there are enough stories for a while. And in the end there would be 7 books of this Xkalistar saga, which is made up of 7 books. And now I'm already writing the 5th. That is, I would need these 3 books, 5th, 6th and 7th, and for the 7th book ending, there will be a pleasant surprise for the fans. I work alone in editing my videos. Maybe other YouTubers have a team made up of 4 or more people. However, I am alone and I have to edit everything on my own. That is why I upload videos every 2 weeks on average. Sometimes it takes me longer to upload a video, and if it is too short I upload it sooner. But the thing is that I am working alone. That is why I saw other YouTubers, who have a team of many people, 3 or more, who are in charge of making the video and can upload a new video every few days. I am not in that condition, because I am working alone on this. I have to edit everything. It is difficult for me. So be patient with me if I upload a video every 2 weeks on average. If it is very long, it takes me 3 weeks between video and video, and if it is too short, just a week, a few days. But I try to get up, to be very active on this social network of YouTube, which is my favorite. For me the best social network in the world is YouTube. There may be others, but I do not know how to handle myself. Out there others have a large number of followers. And I manage on YouTube with my videos and I got my people, but well. Now if you subscribe to me you encourage me to continue creating more content for you. And more if you finance me through the payment links. Like Mercado Pago of Argentina, PayPal, CBU of Banco Provincia de Buenos Aires, Payoneer, Cafecito, Coffee, and other financing networks. I would be very grateful if you could finance me, and thank you for having watched this video, for having read my writings. Although if you could do not collaborate with me financially, you help me a lot by subscribing to my channel. Giving me advice and questions to ask me, you have my exclusive email for you, my followers and readers. saintshoemxkalistar@gmail.com. I have other emails, but more for my own personal use. But this, saintshoemxkalistar@gmail.com, is for you my readers, so that you ask me questions, and help me create these compilation. These books that would be like dictionaries, encyclopedias to ask me questions. Giving me advice on proposed new names for characters, and more if those names resemble the names of animal pets. I have been creating many stories lately, and I did not know what names to give them. That is why you would help me by giving me name suggestions. Thank you for having watched this video, and greetings to all, until next time.